You're listening to AFL Nation for Liquorland. We've got a drink for that.
AFL Nation at Etihad Stadium. The third quarter is just about upon us. In the cricket for Kubota Tractors, they get the job done. Australia now 1 for 47, Bancroft 11 and Khawaja 3. Warner the man out there after South Africa were all out for 311. And here at Etihad Stadium, haven't quite matched the heights of last night. 5-8-38 Essendon, Adelaide 4-9-33. But the second half promises plenty. And, of course, AFL Nation for Maccas, 24 McNuggets for $9.95. Jared and Gary having a short break. Danny Frawley rejoins us. What was your view on the Merritt clash, which saw him off for the rest of the night, as Abby reported for Spitwater High Pressure Cleaners? Spud, does Douglas have anything to worry about?
The naked eye looked fine. He went low. The ball was, he didn't go past the ball, Douglas. He went low. Merritt was low. Both shoulders hit. And after that, Merritt's head obviously either hit heads with Douglas or just the whiplash effect of that. So contact to me was to the shoulder, but he got concussion. So they'll look at it very, very closely, or not they, Michael Christian will. But to my looking on the Chemist Warehouse replay screen, I think he'll get up.
Gary, your thoughts on that?
I don't think it was unreasonable. I think when it gets down to it...
What other choice did he have?
He got as low as he could. The ball was in the vicinity, bumped to the side, if you like. And so I don't think it was an unreasonable action.
I'm happy to defer to Jared on this. He has great passion about these cases on a Monday night.
I'm reading Jared's body language.
Yeah, so the repeat concussion, I reckon, is a really interesting factor.
How do they judge that?
It doesn't look to be any actual contact to the head, and so it's the shake of the body, and this will be the long-term worry for Zach Merritt. It's the impact.
It is.
So we've seen 4 or 5 different angles. It doesn't appear to be any shoulder-to-head contact. If there's any contact to the head at all, Douglas will get suspended, just as a matter of course. That's the way that it works.
What about Jared?
This is a slightly odd one.
If it was slight, like, I know you put degrees, but what you're saying now is that because he's had multiple concussions, that he's far more susceptible now to having the concussion.
And that's not Douglas's fault.
No.
So that's how it looks.
And it's taken into consideration?
I don't think it wouldn't be by Michael Christian. You could go to a tribunal and talk about that.
So that could be the basis of an appeal.
Yeah, so it'll simply be whether there is an actual freeze frame of shoulder to head. And on what we've seen, there's not.
I don't think there is. I think it's the whiplash effect of the quick movement of your cranium and your brain inside. So and you can get concussion worse than actually two heads clashing.
So Douglas is really interesting, but it's actually Merritt who's the true concern here, and what that means is that the repeated concussions and in a short period of time.
And if Hutto's right, there was one either pre-Christmas or just after Christmas on the training track. Yeah, he's in a bit of trouble going forward, just for the short term.
He
won't be playing next week.
No, you wouldn't think so. So have the Bombers, I mean, both sides have got some players out, and now obviously Merritt is out, but the Crows in particular, as we said, 7 players out from last year's grand final, including a couple of gun forwards for them. Who's played the better given their players available?
They've both dominated quarters of footy and hadn't put the score on the board. Essendon that quarter had 16 inside 50s for 1 goal, and Adelaide had 18 inside 50s for 2, Hutto. So it's the side that's able to get some territory but actually get scoreboard pressures going to win this game of footy. I think John Worsfold will be wrapped with the way they've been able to defend, because Adelaide have been in 28 times for only 4 goals. So that's been a concern for them in the medium to short term. So I'd be wrapped with that, but he'd be really disappointed from their return, because their offence is always their one wood, and at the moment they're spluttering in that.
And there's a young fellow out here that we can see, Andy McGrath, who now becomes even more important if he can make that transition to genuine midfielder.
Opening bounce for Tyre Power, your top of the ladder tyre team. And it sees Jacobs pitted once again against Bell Chambers. We'll call it a draw. Although Matt Crouch escapes with the ball, bets up into the square, took it, sends it deep inside 50. Courage personified by Brown. He goes down in a heap. That's Brown of Essendon. And they come for young Fogarty, who cleaned him up.
Which will ensure that there's a bit of a dust-up, because then they come to protect the young kid, of course. Let's have a look at this Chemist Warehouse replay.
Giving 50.
Yep. Yeah, he just sort of clipped him, not in the initial...
Well, he did have an option, didn't he? Fogarty, he had a clear option not to get involved with that. I don't mind the fact that he tried to make him earn it.
I think we knew Fogarty's intent.
Brown tries to take advantage. He gets caught by Betts after a 50-metre penalty.
Well, I hope he's not concussed.
You don't see that too often. Betts gets to his feet quickly to try and leverage that advantage and takes it out wide for McGovern.
How many times have we seen that? A 50 then get tackled?
Not too often, I think. That's what I said, Spud, as the kick goes deep towards full forward.
Ooh.
Oh, Fogarty leapt up over the top, hits the ground. Jenkins shells out a handball to Sloan. He almost was able to get to his feet. Jenkins a part of it again. Back to Gibbs. Lovely snap at goal. Sails through. And there's the Bryce Gibbs difference for the Crows as he hits the scoreboard and gives Adelaide the narrowest of advantage on that scoreboard. 5-9-39 place, 5-8-38. Mitre 10 scoreboard, mighty helpful.
Wasn't pretty, but they got some territory early, and I know that the ball spilled out, but it was a really good, strong contest from Jenkins, who split the pack, and then Gibbs was just able to shark it in the right spot. And as I said, I think that's the side that's going to take their chances in this quarter, because what we did see last night, after about the first 10 minutes of the last quarter, fatigue really set in. So if you can dominate and get some scoreboard pressure, you're a chance.
Fogarty, Spud. It was Fogarty.
Fogarty,
so I like seeing that too. Yeah, bounce back up after being in a little dust up, being the centre of a bit of attention, and then just said, nah, I'm flying, crashed the pack, and Jenkins was the crummer.
AFL Nation for first choice liquor. Bell Chambers reaches up, wins the tap down to Smith, who's down in the tackle by Gibbs. And he wasn't tipped beyond the horizontal, umpire Chamberlain says, but he's going to be overruled by umpire Pennell. The umpire on the spot was exactly right.
Sling tackle. He's paid a sling
tackle. It wasn't, as Ray Chamberlain had the side on view and he was dead on. He never got tipped. Devon Smith got the free kick as a result. He put it out in front of Stringer, let it bounce, gathered, wheels around at the 50, has a dash and misses the locks.
We'll go to the top of the square there, Jake.
So, Jared, are you saying that Ray called it right?
Yeah, absolutely, he called it right.
Okay, so he didn't have both arms pinned. Let's have a look at this Chemist Warehouse replay.
For me, that's just a fair.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Stewart has the ball as they turn it back over. Sends it forward. Oh, Hooker both hands around to Sharon. Couldn't drag it down. Parrish is outnumbered by Luke Brown and Co back there. Kick goes out wide to Sloan versus McKenna. Hassled within an inch of his life. Sloan, but he keeps going. And the ball is jarred loose. He might get another crack this time at a tackle. Sard, though, too swift. Got away. Hamilton McGrath tackled immediately by Atkins, who won't let him go. Umpire gave a bit of latitude to McGrath. Begley pounced. Low ball and beautiful sliding mark by Hooker in just the right spot.
I'd like to have a look at the disposal from McGrath, because the tackle was there for a long time. Yeah. The guys are asking Ray Chamberlain now, how did he dispose of the ball? The tackle was there for a long time. Now, he may have got a fist on it, but we were blindsided.
Oh, he maybe got a boot on.
Maybe got a toe on it. Gee, it was
Hooker
lucky.
has kicked truly. And it's Essendon back in front now at Etihad Stadium. And it's a pumped-up Cale Hooker. Mouthguard fell out as he was enjoying the celebrations post-goal. Matt Crouch continues the argument, no doubt, over the Andrew McGrath non-decision. AFL Nation, things ramping up here for first choice liquor.
Yeah, we might get a half in contrast, hopefully, to the first one, with a few goals and a bit more entertainment. And certainly, both sides look really evenly matched, but that's what we can think out of this, and it doesn't look like someone's going to blast away. This midfield is now becoming a really important battle, because I think once this game wears on, the forward 50 matchups are capable of kicking goals.
Our expert comments for Red Energy, 100% Australian. 7 lead changes so far in the game. Jacobs wins the tap, hunting the ball as Gibbs, coming the other way, McKenna, who took it away. Hand pass to Heppel, shot it over his head, was untidy. McGovern works the turnover and delivers the Crows inside the 50. Douglas one way, Fogarty the other, ran into each other. Gibbs got it again, snaps and goals.
Class.
That touch of class is evident for all to see. 2 goals in 5 minutes from Bryce Gibbs, and Adelaide leads again by a point. 6-9-45 to 6-8-44 on the mighty helpful Mitre 10 scoreboard.
Yeah, that's a Coates Hire, a goal of the day contender. There's no doubting that. You just knew, even though he's under pressure, it was going to go through, and that's why they've got him. We know he's a great player. 20 disposals already and 2 goals.
Look at the way he kicks it, Spud, on the Chemist Warehouse replay screen. It only needed a pace. Like he only took a step to balance up. oh, this is the free kick, and they're going back to the free kick for the sling tackle in the middle of the ground, but he just took a pace, one step to balance himself, and then the goal was magnificent.
Belchambers got the tap, but straight into the lap of Sloan. He gave it to the hot man Gibbs. He couldn't get anything clear. He got good backup though. Duday back to Sloan through Laird's hands, and eventually out to the wing where Seedsman gives it back to Sloan. Redoubles his efforts, drives it long. Fogarty's read this. Oh, he stayed down at the back, and the Bomber defence went straight for the footy, and Brown gets the rewards of that aggressive mindset.
Good effort, really good effort.
Mark.
He went at it. Fogarty tried to work him under the footy, and he was good enough to mark it.
Glenn Cameron can do marker today, contender. Bombs it out to the wing. Stewart presents a good target in the air. And there was 3 Adelaide players up, and all the scouts were Bombers. Green feeding Hempel, feeding Smith. Bounces his way to half forward for Essendon. Left foot kick in the direction of Hooker, who's behind Hardigan this time. So he played the role of the defender. Green kept on coming, got the crumbs. His kick was smothered straight away. They're not out of trouble yet, although Jacobs' handball advances the cause. And well done, Crouch. Awareness around him. Gave it to Douglas, who buys some time. And the run is provided by McKay.
And he unloads up towards the 50. Jenkins in a one-on-one. Couldn't get to the front. Brown held his ground. McGovern plays Cromer. He's got it, puts it onto the left, and he kicks the goal.
Great footy.
That's Adelaide. A bit slow to arrive, but here they are before us. They open up a 7-point lead. 7-9-51 to Essendon, 6-8-44 on the mighty helpful Mitre 10 scoreboard. 7 gone of the third term.
Footy vernacular, it's called breaking the line, and that was McKay off half-back. The handball from Couch was beautifully weighted in it. He just broke and made 15 metres, which gave all these forwards options. We'll look at again Chemist Warehouse, and Michael Hurley, I think, was his direct opponent, and he, in the end, elected to go back, and McGovern went front. It was a great contest from Brown again, but the front and square was all McGovern, while Hurley just dropped to the back of the pack, Spud.
AFL Nation for Maccas, 24 McNuggets for $9.95. It squirts out Adelaide's way again. Hampton in the right spot, turns immediately, can kick this to the square. Sloan's got the best read against McGrath in the air, he flies. And back there, Hartley as well. It goes towards the line. They've worked it over and out of bounds.
Just watching Jenkins then, he was the one that was first cab off the rank. He had to stay at home. Let him be the strong target. He just created a goal by a strong contest and let Fogarty do the leading.
Jacobs from behind. He worked his way to the prime position, but Belchambers got the second tap at it, and that allowed Zaharakis to get the clearing kick. Out to the 50. McDonald Tippenmoody's coming. The crowd sensed it. We all did. He knocked it away from McGovern, and McGovern was able to get the best read as Hurley overstepped. Now Kelly going to be tackled straight away. Well done, the pressure from McDonald Tippenmoody, and McGrath couldn't keep it in. Rugby style throw back to the boundary umpire.
Been fairly quiet on the Simmons home stat sheet. McDonald Tippenwoody only the 3.
3 of the last 4 goals, Adelaide. Had the throw in, Jacobs reaches up, wins the tap, Langford hauled it in, he was in the tackle as soon as he did, and it stays where it was. Nudging up to left half forward for the Crows. 9 minutes into this third term. Belchambers knocked it to the side. Goddard worked it forward. McDonald Tippenwoody beaten to it by McKay, who wedges out a kick and did it well to McGovern. Thought about the hand pass, instead goes the kick. He's aimed it for Fogarty, it's gone too far. Jenkins had a slide in at it, couldn't take the mark. Hurley, risky hand pass on the last line, knocked down by Sloan, kicked off the ground by Murphy. He's going to have to survive the review again. That looked like he would not be denied.
Well, Hartley's confident that it's touched.
When it's a goal, I'd just like to check the defender's hand wasn't on the ball when it was kicked.
If it is a goal,
Saw-wise drink review, great footy moments.
Please confirm the ball was not touched.
Hartley's got a case here, Jared. This might be another failed appeal.
So Lachlan's been denied by a pinky. This time has he been denied by a fingertip?
I reckon his hand might have been still on the ball once it leaves the boot.
Oh, maybe you're right.
So
he's
what
kicked the ball out of his hand.
He's kicked the ball off his hands.
And whether or not he still had the fingers over the last contact,
I think it might be
of
a
the
goal.
ball. I think it's a point.
I hope they're getting a better frame than ours.
Oh,
What an interesting
must have long
review.
fingers.
Well, in the end, it'll go to umpire's call.
Yeah, it'll be a goal.
We'll have a look at that play.
and if it is a goal, I want you to watch Michael Hurley on Rory Sloane on this occasion, because he was his man. Played off again.
Here we go on the umpire's call. It's going to be a goal for Lachlan Murphy.
Well, they're in position in the zone. Now they've got to go and find him again.
Score-wise, drink review for drink-wise score review. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise. If you drink enough, you might mix your words up like that. 57 plays 44, 8-9 to 6-8. Adelaide have kicked 4 goals in the term.
Well, we saw Michael Hurley on the last goal lay off McGovern. Now, I was watching that clearance, and Rory Sloan was having a spell on the forward line. His direct opponent was Michael Hurley. Hurley went to the boundary line. Sloan kept chasing the ball as he does, and Sloan was the one that got the ball through for the youngster to kick the goal. So needs to tighten up a little bit, Michael Hurley.
Centre bounce over the top. Jacobs got the tap down. Greenwood got out of there, but straight to Saad, who's able to pounce on the wing. Gives it to Parrish, who goes wide. It's played it very wide, and that was to the advantage of Luke Brown of Adelaide, who takes the chest mark at half-back. Adelaide 57, Essendon 44. So the Bombers up against it right now. Brown drives up along the dockside wing. Hurley up to fly. Got help from Hartley. Hits the ground. There's Greenwood again. Stronger body. Springer matched him with a tackle. The ball dislodged. Parrish to the running Saad. And he saw off 2 Crows. And now he can go. Decided a handball. Enlisted Heppel as they track right across Etihad Stadium. And that frees up Brown to drive along the former Cat to Hooker.
Too strong.
Timely mark in front of Hartigan from Cale Hooker.
Well, it was his work off the ball, Hutto. He just got rid of Brown at the right time and then launched at the footy. Brown was looking for the body too much.
He's been the most dangerous forward for Essendon. Joe Danaher's had his colours lowered, but yeah, he's done a lot of work going back with the flight and hitting back up. And he's a massive body. Can he convert?
He can.
Oh, look at him.
His second goal of the quarter. And Essendon nip away. 6-8-44 against Adelaide's 8-9-57. 12 and a half minutes gone in the third term. That's the mighty 10 scoreboard, the mighty helpful mighty 10 scoreboard.
Well done, Adam Saad. He was the one that started the ball on the half-back flank and was like a human bowling ball. He just laid few of them over and got the ball forward. Hooker has been a very good forward all night.
Let's get down to Abby Holmes for the latest from downstairs.
Yeah, Hutto, David McKay was involved in a contest on our broadcast side. He came to the bench in quite a bit of pain. The physio is interestingly applying ice to his left leg, but he's just done some warm-ups on the boundary and looks good to go.
Thanks, Ab. That's for Spitwater High Pressure Cleaners.
Bell Chambers wins the tap to McDonald Tippenwoody, who went into the middle. Stringer hand passed it over his head to Goddard, who found a way through the matrix. Off to Zaharakis, kicked a full forward, cut off by Hartigan, who backed himself and went into the pack and is a bit the worse for wear. He shut the play down, though. He gives the hand pass to Brown, who gets out of a tight spot. He plays the far side of the ground. Jenkins allows Ellis Yulman to take the mark, and he sends the Crows to half-forward. Fogarty one-on-one. Terrific grab. He was playing from behind Hartley. Used the body well. Hands up at the moment to the right. And to 50. He'll kick his second goal.
Gee whiz, it's an exclusion zoner, I think, is it?
Yeah,
It'd have to be.
Was it Hurley?
Well, I've got a guilty Hurley in the old binoculars.
Yeah. I think it was. He's the one walking back with his hands on his hips.
Eddie reckons it should be in the goal square.
And that's a good point too, Hutto.
If it's inside 50.
Well, he marked it 49 metres out.
Let's have a look on the Chemist Warehouse replay screen, and it is. He was trying to get to the mark early and trying to send McGrath on because Hal Shulman had run on, and in the process he got too close.
Darcy Fogarty, he's given himself a long run up. He skips and stutters and slots it through for his second. And the Crows have that 13-point buffer re-established as they've really opened up in this third quarter. They've booted 5. 9-9-63 to Essendon, 7-8-50. The scoreboard for Mitre 10, always mighty helpful to the trade.
I'm not sure Darcy Fogarty's going anywhere, boys. Tex Walker or not. 8 inside 50s for the Crows, 4 goals, Spud. That's a worry from Essendon Footy Club point of view. That's this quarter.
Yeah, well, they had 18 in the first quarter for 2.
Yeah.
So now they're starting to really open them up, and I think they've got their forward line structure right, but it's been the run of Adelaide and not overusing the footy for mine.
Big moment that for Bendix breaks. Insist on Bendix breaks. Centre bounce. Feels pretty crucial, the stoppages at the moment in the middle to get their teams going. Zaharakis, a couple of involvements linked up with Goddard, and then D, and he goes short to Smith. They still haven't got beyond the wing. They might do that now as he enlists McDonald, Tip and Wood. He takes the mark on a relatively packed City wing here at Etihad Stadium. Driving kick, Hooker, both hands up, clamps the mark, and then Hastie's handball was shut down.
Oh my Lord.
Hardigan able to feed it out. Now Laird, and they walk the tightrope too close to the boundary line. It's over and out.
What is he doing, the big Hooksy? He looks dangerous. He's got hot hands at the moment. He reverted to ruckman mode.
Boundary throw in, half forward, just for Essendon. 9-9 plays 7-8 in favour of the Crows, who have got away in this third quarter. Good ruck work from Bellchambers, took care of the ball, gave it off to Zaharakis. It found its way to Langford, now Goddard with real purpose. A sizzling ball for Joe Danaher, who couldn't help but take the mark on his chest.
Well, we saw Gibbs 10 minutes ago use his beautiful skills, and gee, Goddard coming through the middle, shoulders out. No defender in the competition could stop that kick.
Daniel Talia is not an easy man to shake. Joe Danaher can attest to that tonight, but he's lining up now. 4 marks, 7 kicks. So far, a goal. And you can double that now from 45, straight through the middle. Plenty of applause for Brendan Goddard for the supply. And Essendon work their way back once again. 9-9-63, plays 8-8-56. And that is on the Mitre 10 scoreboard. Always mighty helpful to the trade.
Now back to the talk about forwards and where they should start and where they should be in terms of positioning on a ground. How beautiful was it to see that? There's a full forward who started vaguely in the vicinity of where the full forward generally should, and then you got Goddard spearing through the middle on the end of a beautiful pass. It's just enough to make you wish for 10 years, 20 years.
Well, Cramry, Danaher and Hooker have kicked 6 out of the 8 goals, so they've done their job tonight.
Australia 2 for 62, Kawaj is out for 5. Ball one in the middle by Parrish from the centre bounce. He kicks it for Hooker. Danaher leapt over the top and took the mark.
Guess what? You come out of the middle and that's where they should be, but on a broken damn record. I tell you what, I'm right on this one.
No, I like it because
McGovern does. Hardigan doesn't want Danaher anywhere near where he's marked this footy.
Exactly right.
Neither does Daniel Talia.
Now, Talia's actually made it look second-rate now, coming out of the goal square instead of 70 metres out.
He stole that one from his teammate.
Doesn't matter. It was a beautiful grab.
50 out, slightly to the left. Joe Danaher, he's pushed it across the face of goal, and he's only just scored it behind. So he's got 2 goals, one out on the full and 1 out of bounds on the bounce. AFL Nation for Macca's, 24 McNuggets for $9.95. They're down by a goal, the Dogs.
That's going to take some beating. The Glenn Cameron can-do mark of the day.
Took the words out of my mouth, Spud. As Brown runs into the back pocket, Adelaide up to the wing. Hurley in front didn't take the mark. Has a second go at it and gets help from Heppel, and that's a creative handball. And it would have been more effective, but for a fumble from Hurley. Parrish as the backup arrived to Stewart McKenna. The ball stolen. Douglas.
Look at Eddie.
And look at them running. Eddie's running back to goal. Alice Yeoman to service. The bounce is okay. Eddie, the kick is into the post. And listen to the Essendon fans. They love it.
Well, they won't be loving this. Kicked it out in the full. Sarge tried to get the ball moving quickly and kicked it out on the full.
Well, he'd made the chase to keep bets honest and deny them a goal, and he might give them a 7-point play. Richard Douglas is in the left forward pocket, trying to plot his way to goal. He's in the book. He's getting the hoots of the Essendon fans whenever he goes near it. Now to put himself on the score sheet. He's got a couple of behinds. He is. Richard Douglas from the boundary screws it through magnificently.
Pure.
Big deep breath. He plotted it perfectly. And it is the 7-point play. Oh, and that's causing some angst in the Essendon Brains Trust. It's back to 13 points as a result. 10-10-70 to 8-9-57 on the mighty helpful Mitre 10 scoreboard.
And the concern for the Bombers, Spud, is that when it goes inside 50, what's happening? The Adelaide inside 50.
They're just getting straight through over the goal umpires. Had 9 inside 50s for 6 goals.
Wow.
That's the Simmons home stat of the day so far in this third quarter, and that's the real concern, and that's been the concern throughout the last couple of years with Essendon. They're okay at times, but when the damn wall breaks, she breaks.
Only halfway through this third quarter. High-scoring affair all of a sudden. There's a free kick here, and it's going Adelaide's way to Sloan out of the middle for a shove against Zaharakis. They all flood down as quickly as possible to make the job difficult. The long kick has McGovern in mind. Greenwood flew as well, ghosting across the front. The ball comes out the side where Hurley's battling. Oh, the whisk stuff from McGrath. Didn't make the job easy. There's a high contact free to Langford.
The initial tackle went high. He's pleading there. Seedsman that he ducked, but no, his hands were too high. Yeah.
Sure, the Chemist Warehouse replay confirming your instincts, Spud. Has Langford, kicks it back towards the wing. Hooker got a fist in. Talia had the same thought. And then Talia tried to follow up and hack it forward for the Crows with very little success. Hooker taps it and got it to McDonald, Tip and Woody, and suddenly the game changes. A hand pass puts Zaharakis into the clear on the wing, and a perfectly weighted deep kick, and Stewart was there to accept the long pass.
Well, I'm going to try and make sense of what's happened since half-time, because, you know, if you're listening to this, you're going, oh, at half-time it's a 4-5 stinker, and all of a sudden we've got this goal fest, and it would appear that there's been quicker and cleaner movement through the middle, but also there's been a much more efficient forward group that have been able to stay close to the goal spot.
And with Stewart, he's actually playing the ruck now, and that's smart, because Bellchambers on the bench. He made Jacobs play as a defender, and it really suited him getting forward.
For his third goal, James Stewart, another former Giant, now wearing Essendon colours. That's his usual. And unfortunately, he misses this one to the right. Just has that stutter step, as you said. Looks a little unconvincing. And that proved to be the case on this occasion. So it's 10-10-70 against 8-10-58. 6-1 to 3-2 for the quarter in favour of the Crows, and hence a 12-point lead.
McKay on the kick in, he left the square and he goes for distance. Jacobs is outnumbered, and at the fall, McKenna's got it for the Dons, off to Zaharakis, who kicks it to Hooker. It pierced through his fingers. He couldn't believe that he wouldn't have marked it. McKay on the mop up. Adelaide escape one there. Off to Kelly, kicks to Jenkins, hopelessly outnumbered as well. Hurley drifts back. Got some high contact. Volley made the spoil. Brown's been given the advantage. Hand pass to Goddard, back to Hurley. Not much of an advantage. And Hurley's kicked it out of the full.
Well, sometimes you just got to be composed enough to take your free kick, and Brown ran onto the footy and had the advantage option and took it, where he could have gone back to Hurley and just settled things down a touch.
So Hooker should have taken the mark and had a shot directly in front, and then they wasted the ball on the wing. McKay to Laird, who brings it into the square for Duday. He gives it off there to Kelly, who drives inside 50, brought to ground in front by Douglas, who swats it on, taken by Jenkins, hand passed over the top to Fogarty, faked the first hand pass, gave the second, out wide to Gibbs, as Hampton had a couple of options. Gibbs short. Oh, Hampton and Jenkins got in their way. That you couldn't stuff it up more than that.
Well, they've probably given it back to Bombers, although the umpire comes to their aid now. It seems a free kick is worthy to Green.
Gibbs should have kicked the goal.
Half back, drifting down Goddard, as is his wont, takes it uncontested on the wing. He thinks about it and goes inside. Made the fool of Greenwood. Left foot kick, perfect for Hempel. Something building here for the Bombers, although it's a scrappy old aimless kick. And that's pretty easy fodder back there for Duday.
Well, Hooker missed, dropped the mark down to 10s, could have marked. Then two Adelaide players ran into each other at the other end of the ground. It's a comedy of errors.
And then a chain of handballs ends with Seedsman, a long kick. Alice Yeoman up but didn't complete the mark. Zaharakis can make him pay. Chisels one to half forward. McKay knocked it away. The ball's there to be taken. No shortage of desperation. All bodies over the footy. The umpire says, you've hatched it. Against you, Stewart. Free kick is going to go Adelaide's way to Bryce Gibbs.
At half back with a 12-point lead. Gibbs shoots it around to Duday, who has a bounce, brings it up to the 50. Hand pass to Kelly, kicks beyond halfway. Greenwood's his target. Goddard did just enough. Duday wrapped him up, forced the spillage now to get him back after it. It came out the side of the pack. where Parrish turned tackler after initially trying to gather the ball. He brings Atkins to ground, who was given a while, and the umpire is going to trot in and ball it up.
I know Greenwood wasn't in the original team. He doesn't look the same player just at the moment as last year.
He's gone to try and make Goddard accountable, Hutto, after half-time.
McGrath won the clearance, but he gave it straight up as he kicked it to Duday.
Who works it laterally. And Brown's there to plot the path with Laird, who had the kick with Ellis Yeoman in mind. Not the most convincing grab, but takes it eventually. Long kick. It's a scouting, but Jenkins marked it.
Yeah. So Rory Laird, he's in the running for Self-Wealth Investment with Confidence Player of the Year tonight. Rory Laird, 27 disposals, Hutto.
Rolled beautifully off the tongue, Spud.
Yes, it was crisp, wasn't it?
Jenkins set up for a left foot kick from the pocket.
Thanks for your confidence.
Goes out wide, proved the angle, but not enough as it rattles the post. And now Adelaide, 10-11-71. Versing, as the children of today would say, Essendon 8-10-58.
Don't encourage them.
And he's got to get with the program, Jared.
Goddard kicks it in long. Danaher couldn't mark. Begley tries to work it away from Greenwood. Greenwood did well. Hand passes to Gibbs, who gives it off to Atkins, who kicks in tight confines. Wobbled it up into the forward pocket. Greenwood then plays Crummer outside of the boot. That's how the young folk do it. Beautifully done by Hugh Greenwood, who gets himself into the game. It's the biggest lead of the night at 19 points. Adelaide 11-11-77 to Essendon 8-10-58. That's a contender for the Coates Hire goal of the day.
8 of the last 11 goals Adelaide Crows have kicked in this game. That's telling. And they've got some nice momentum here. Over to Essendon, basically, because this way the numbers winning the ball back inside 50, Spud. Right now they're scoring at a rate that is just not defendable from an Essendon point of view. How many inside 50s for how many goals?
13 this quarter, inside 50s for 9 scoring shots, 7 goals, 2.
And they're going at 87% efficiency when the ball's inside forward 50.
19 points the margin. Jacobs taps it down. Heppel with the hustle, but the ball dislodged in the tackle, and a chain of handballs. Crouch to Gibbs. He rushed it on the boot. Laird was in the right spot, right out on the city wing. Took his time. He had that luxury to turn, and then he just slightly missed the target on the way forward. Some frustrations from the Bombers right now being displayed.
Yeah, well, Gibbs on the 7 home stats this quarter. 7 kicks, 100%. Sloan, 4 kicks, 100%. Duday, Kelly, 100%. Mackay, all the runners, the guys on the outside are using the ball extremely well, which means the pressure's dropped off the Bombers. They've just stopped their tackling and pressure.
Ball out of bounds. Adelaide marginally into attack. Nothing doing from the throw in until Crouch emerged cleanly. Handed it off to Seedsman. End on end. Hartley gets a little win. Takes the mark as the ball tumbled into the forward 50. He's there to relieve, at least for the moment, for Essendon. Back up along that city wing. He drives it. Hooker from behind. Didn't take the mark. Laird again to Crouch. Sick of saying their names. It's up and down on the one spot, though. That's under some pressure. It's floated over the line and gone out of bounds. Laird, 29 disposals. Matched now by Matt Crouch.
Yeah, and this is where Zach Merritt's loss early in this game starting to be felt, because their midfield dominance at Adelaide is really controlling the contest.
Crows by 19. Hooker kicks it to halfway. Belchambers the lead, couldn't pull it down. Heppel with a hand pass which didn't release the play. It comes Adelaide's way. Jacobs to Duday. He coughed it up straight to Goddard. Brings it around the wing. Begley with a good gather around the laces. Off to McGrath and back to Begley. Guides it up to the 50. Kelly, it got past him. He had to soccer and look for help from Duday, who's scragged, taken high by Danaher. It'll be an Adelaide free kick at the defensive 50.
Around the grounds for Kubota Tractors, they get the job done, and Melbourne United have defeated the Adelaide 36ers 101-98 in Game 3 of the NBL Grand Final Playoff Series. It's best of 5, so it'll go back to Adelaide for the next leg on Sunday.
Feels like that's going for a month, that final series.
Kick up along the wing favours Jacobs, and he got both hands wrapped around it. Nothing Belchambers could do.
They've just dominated the whole quarter, haven't they? They've just flexed their muscles. But let's see, Gaz, I'm with you. Let's see what Essendon have got in the last quarter now. Game's still up for grabs. Get a couple early in the start of the fourth quarter, but at the moment, They're just standing nowhere near the direct opponent, even inside the forward 50.
Yeah, a little lost at the moment as Hampton received the short pass from Crouch, who had his 30th possession. He plonks it up in the goal square, and Betts had to fly just to keep the ball in. It bounces away to the back pocket. A double grab from Goddard, but he had the time and space to send it back out, although Jacobs is going to be hard to pass there. And the big man reaches up and marks again and brings it into Hardigan, who's the man closest to his defensive goal, and yet he's forward of centre.
So Hardigan decides to go deep forward to a pack of 4. Knocked away by McGovern trying to create something, but Goddard was there mopping up. He gave the hand pass away to Stewart, working in defence. McGrath, Zaharakis, and then back to Stewart. He guides the play down the outer wing. Danaher used the hands to leap over the top of Hardigan, but didn't bring it in. And the Crows will come hard as a result. Gibbs receives and kicks to full forward. Betts in front. Didn't take the mark. They do have the Crummers. Fumbled, though, by Douglas. D with a hand pass to defence. Shocker from Parrish. Cut off by Atkins, who snaps it behind. Some kind of blunderful there around goal. That was wide open. The Crows by 20 on the mighty, helpful Mitre 10 scoreboard. Hampton hobbling from the field.
5 out of their 7 goals Adelaide have scored on the run. It's just their running power as well. They've run them off their legs.
Devon Smith gets himself into the back pocket to receive the short kick in, and he does the same to Heppel. But it's slow and stilted for the Bombers right now. Lacking conviction, they've been outscored 7-3 to 3-2 for the quarter. This is a little better and more promising. Bellchambers pumps the handball to Parrish. There's a 50. That's the best way to get the transition going here for Essendon.
I mean, the exclusion, maybe Ellis Yeoman on that occasion.
It's 2-all on the 50 count. So Bellchambers will get effectively to centre half forward.
Just over a minute on the clock, hello?
Stringer in the goal square, but it's a mystifying kick across the ground, which bounces for Hurley. He's under pressure straight away, but he angles the kick cleverly for McDonald, Tip and Woody. They've come very wide, though, and the resultant shot for goal will not be easy.
That's a hell of a kick from Hurley. Low percentage, but beautifully executed in the end. And gee, they need it. They absolutely need this. With 40 seconds now left on the clock in the third quarter, they've opened up this big lead. They just would love this on the three-quarter time sirens.
It's such an impact over the last 2 years, Anthony McDonald, Tip and Woody. Not so tonight, until now. A 45-metre kick. Oh, and he didn't get near it. Directly in front, that would have been out on the full.
I don't know how you do. I don't know how you can do that as a professional sports person.
8:10:58 plays 11:12:78. It's in Adelaide's favour, and there's only 15 seconds remaining in the third.
That's on the mighty helpful Mitre 10 scoreboard. They've had 4 shots that they've kicked out on the full. Essendon led with a long kick out of defence. Bellchambers left over the top of Jacobs, didn't haul it in. Ellis Yeoman to Betts. There was no room. D made the spoil and the steal. The give and go with Parrish, but then he got dispossessed, and that is three-quarter time. So Adelaide have come from behind to hit the front in the third term on AFL Nation for first choice liquor. They kicked 7 goals, 3 for the term, while Essendon added 3 goals, 2. And as a result, it's 20 points at the final change. Adelaide 11-12-78 to Essendon 8-10-58. The goal kickers for the Crows, 2 for Jenkins, Gibbs and Fogarty, with singles to Greenwood, Hampton, Douglas, McGovern and Murphy, while for Essendon 2 for Danaher, 2 for Stewart, 2 for Hooker and singles to McGrath and Bellchambers. Three-quarter time at Etihad Stadium, Friday night footy. It's Adelaide by 20 points on AFL Nation.
That quarter of AFL Nation was for Mitre 10, always mighty helpful to the trade.